Welcome everybody. This is going to be your third yoga class. I hope you're practicing, perhaps doing it once or twice. So begin to center, bring your elbows in. We're going to start with 3 different breaths before we do some neck and basic floor exercise, and then stand up, the usual kind of structure. So for the first breath, which I don't think I've done with you, as you breathe in, you bring your thumb, middle finger and index finger together. Maybe bring your elbows slightly in. So you breathe in like that, through your nose, and then let go of your middle finger and rotate the hand so that your index finger and thumb on the inside of your thigh, like that. So breathing in and breathing out. And it's quite a strange feeling to get to those fingertips, to become aware of them. I always notice as a nursery school teacher, when I would do intervention spiral, things like that, everybody draws in, and there's a similar feeling here. You draw into your hands in a different way. So you can keep your eyes open, unless you want to close them. Breathing in, let go of the index finger and rotate. And keep doing it with the breath mindfully. Feel the effect and release. It might be easier once you've got it to close your eyes, feeling it more. You really have to have your awareness into your fingers. Comfortably upright. Whole body awareness. Another 5 times. And just hold it for another breath or 2. I'm going to change our feet and do what I call the heart-brain coordination breath, which we did quite a lot lately. It comes from the Heart Math Institute or Dawson Church, which is really integrating the heart and the brain, as I've said to you quite regularly. The heart was formed in the embryo before the brain, so there's more going up and down communication. So I want you to close your eyes, place your fingertips there, and really breathe into your heart. And as you quieten the heart, get into that calm, abiding heart space, it will communicate with your brain and quieten it as well, which means you've got more reserves to repair the body rather than creating a fight or flight anxiety when you need to sort of use those reserves to deal with that. So try and feel that coherence that you create as you quieten down, breathing into the heart, focusing on it, perhaps closing your eyes. Comfortable, even breath into your heart space, into the center of your chest. Becoming part of that rhythmic pattern of your breath. Slowing down. Feel your heart, empty your mind of everything else. Creating order and harmony in your body, the relationship between your brain and your heart. Now the sixth breath. Release your hand. Feel the effect. Take another breath or two. Dropping into a more spacious calmness within you. Literally arriving in your own heart space. And then we're going to do a little bit more an energetic breath. You may want to sit on your knees. You could stay like this. You're going to breathe in through your mouth and out. In through your nose, out through your mouth. So as you breathe in, you go loose fist, and then you go. So it uses that throat region, which we did last week. Not often did you do that. And speed up a bit. Five more. And feel the energy flowing in the whole of your body. Quite a change of energy. So if you need to change your feet again, because you do some more sitting, we're going to now do the osteopath neck release, which I got from the osteopath book. Put your left hand on the floor, keep your left shoulder down, but try not to collapse. Bring your right hand onto your left shoulder and hold the shoulder down but straighten up comfortably. And then begin to explore by twisting, tucking your chin, lifting your chin. You may want to twist and diagonally to the left, lower, circling. You'll find what works. It stretches those scalenes again on the left. So keep your spine long, hold that left shoulder down, and explore, lifting your chin, tucking it, rotating, diagonally up and down. And then you may want to hold it in one spot. Find a spot that's comfortable, effective rather, or if you prefer, keep moving. Whole body awareness, keep your shoulders down, spine long. Another 5 breaths. I'm going to do it the other way around. So your right hand on the floor, your left hand onto your right shoulder, hold it down, straighten up, and explore. Twisting, lifting, tucking, maybe circles, diagonal. Feeling that scalene on the right, engaging, don't overdo it. Move every which way that you think can stretch that right side of your neck. Exploring in your own way, keeping that right shoulder firmly down. And once again, if you like holding it in one position, perhaps a slight twist, do so, or keep moving. Comfortable breath, keep the stretch. 3 more breaths. Release. I just want to move your neck and rotate, extend into the crown, keep your armpits slightly pulled down, elbows in. Keep that going as you slowly do the same to the left. Extend, armpits down. Feel the breath. And then come back to center. You're going to come off our foam and do a simple Iyengar warm-up which you know. Usually hold it. Today you're going to do it dynamically. So see if you can line up your feet with your knees and not in like I'm doing now, but see if you can actually bring your feet as high as your knees. So it might feel a bit uncomfortable, but it actually is better for your hip region, which will benefit more. So your knees might be quite high. So take your right hand, keep your left sitting bone grounded, and then move into a side stretch. Come up, and as you breathe out, do the same to the left. Keep that right sitting bone grounded and see if you can reach, but keep your armpits down, at least one's torsi down. And do that a few times dynamically. With the breath. Stretching one side at a time. One more time. Now you're going to do the twist dynamically. Left hand around your right knee, right hand to fingertips on the floor as you rotate as far as you can, come back. And as you breathe out, twist to the left, really upright, always from the base of your spine into the crown, not from your hip. Flowing with the breath. Keep it loose. And then we're going to come with our fingers to the side or some to the side, or some people might want to do it like that. And see if you can lift. Tummy in, chest up, shoulders back, and then release as you breathe out. Lift, keep your knees down, tummy in, rotate upper arms out, pause as you lift your chin, head back, and then release. A few more times. Nice deep breath. Let go. Last one. And then stay. Press your sitting bones back, lift your chest, bring your elbows to the floor, and then release your head. And if you can go further, maybe take your head to the floor or just keep it above it. Drop your knees so you can feel it, particularly in that right hip where your leg is in the front. And stay there for 5 more breaths. Do the same. Lining up your feet as you need. It always feels slightly different. So try and make sure that it is as high as possible, and it's like that. Keep your left sitting bone grounded, bend your left elbow, fingers always slightly spread so the energy goes into the fingers. Come back, and as you breathe out, the same to the left. Feel your body, whole body awareness. Swing with the breath. Extend, but ground the opposite sitting bone. Last sequence of right to left. And do the dynamic twist. The base of the spine, rotate, come back, and swing to the left. Make the upright. It always feels a bit different on one side from the other. Rotating the spine. Keep it loose, flowing with the breath. Last one. Warming up. And then take your fingers thumb to the outside. Lift, tummy in, chest up. And then let go. Swing forward. Opening your chest a bit more. Rotate the upper arms out. Press your sitting bones down, knees down. And release. Twice more. Head back. Chest up. And surrender, feeling more perhaps in the left hip. And ease into that. Comfortable breath. 3 more. And come back. Just shake your legs. Release the nerves, in other words. And do some slow rotations. Go right into your toes. Both directions. Point and flex. I'm going to do one that I know you don't like. I'm always glad I don't hear the moaning. So you're going to do the boat. You come onto your sitting bones. Try and not go onto your coccyx area if you can help it. It's a bit more tougher. And reach into your thumb, and you're going to actually do it with your knees slightly bent. This is easier. Shoulders back, tummy in. As you breathe in, begin to straighten the right leg and then come back. Straighten the left leg, come back. And then see if you can do them together. As much as possible staying on your sitting bones, not on the coccyx. Which is quite tricky. Two more. If you're on your sitting bones, you're likely to shake a bit. And then release into a forward bend. Keep your knees bent if you need to. If you can, release sitting bones back and release your head. Try not to round your back like I'm doing now. So you can bring your chest forward. Sitting bones back, and then slowly release your head without rounding your back. You want to lengthen the lower back, so press the sitting bones back and release your head, shoulders back. 5 more breaths. I'm going to do a bit of a slightly more complicated sequence, which you haven't done before. It looks like once you have done, because there's so many variations. And if you can sit like that, you sit like that. If you can't, start like that. For some of you that will be important. So as you breathe in, you bring your arms up. And as you breathe out, you come into plank, straight line. As you breathe in, come into the dog with your head up. Lift out of the shoulders, maybe knees on the floor. As you breathe out, come into the dog with your head down, head to the floor. Armpits and hips toward each other. Now as you breathe in, you come forward, and then slowly come with your forehead on the floor. You could do chaturanga, but visually it's actually just your forehead on the floor. And then as you breathe in, you come back onto your heels, stay off your heels if you need to. And as you breathe out, you're going to be back into that Eastern Plane position. Breathing in, come up. Breathing out into plank, straight line from the crown. Pull your heels back, tummy in, shoulders back. As you breathe out, continue the journey, pressing back with your palms, tummy in, look up, rotate the upper arms out, straighten the arms. And then come into an acute Dog push your head down. Press into your inner hand, rotate the upper arms out, head to the floor, far back. As you breathe in, come forward. Push your forehead to the floor. You could stay just above it, but maybe come onto your forehead. And then push back as you breathe in, lift your arms up. And as you breathe out, you come back into that Eastern Crane position. Coming up as you breathe in. Plank. As you breathe out, dog, push your head up. As you breathe in, dog, push your head down. As you breathe out, coming forward, slowly releasing elbows back onto the tip of your forehead. As you breathe in, come back. I have my toes flat on the floor, arms up. And as you breathe out, come down. Come up as you breathe in. Plank. As you breathe out, extend, lift out of the shoulders. Dog, push your head up. Rotate the upper arms out. Maybe rotate the thighs slightly out. Dog, push your head down. Thighs and heels back, head to the floor, rotate the upper arms out. Come forward. Slowly releasing onto the forehead and your chest. Pushing back up with your arms up into the Eastern Crane position. So do it without me talking. See if you can do it in your own breathing tempo. Last one, the next one you do. Moving with the breath. Feel the contrast, feel your spine. Chaturanga if you can. And then release your knees. And then stay in that Eastern Crane position for a moment and relax totally. Feel the energy flow in your body, release your shoulders, your back, your wrists. Allow everything to soften. Time for a bit of a twist. I'm going to just change my meds. You come onto your back. It's one of those ones that I don't like, but I can't not leave it out too often, so we'll do it. Come onto your back. Bring your hands underneath your head and then bring your head up. And if you have a neck that's a bit sort of sensitive, then bring your right elbow to your left knee. Come back. Create a twist. You don't have to touch. Make you feel that six-pack, abdominals engaging. And support your neck if you need to. Rotating your head from side to side, creating a twist. Moving with the breath, inhalation you shift, exhalation you arrive. Support your neck if you need to. Another 2 sequences. I know some of you are cheating. And then do a nice strong inverted stretch. Pulling out, lift your heels, armpits down, really stretch, grow an inch or two. Drop your arms, release your shoulders, feet away from the midline, and allow your head to loosely roll a few times from side to side. Heavy and relaxed, slow, without forcing it. Look at your last one. And then simply relax totally. Feel the energy flow in the whole of your body. Feeling the contrast when you do nothing and just release. And another simple one on your back. You bend your knees and you either take hold of your feet like I'm doing. Some people can't, so then they need to either get hold of the knees or maybe behind their knees. So as you breathe in, keep your chin down, the back of the head centered, and begin to extend. And if you need to bend your knees, you bend them. As you breathe out, take them as wide apart. If you need to, do it on the inside of your knees. Breathing in, bring them back, and breathing out, bend. So most of you know that quite well. So you can do just the breath, release your back quite consciously. Moving with the breath. Even if your knees are bent, it's fine. See if you can go a bit wider over time. Now the next time you're going to come up, if you can, release your arms, cross your ankles as you breathe in, maybe take a little bit more of your sacrum down than when you did the previous one, and then as you breathe out, widen and perhaps flex your feet. Breathing in, use your core, release the shoulders, cross, and as you breathe out, as wide as you can. Slowly come back in, as much as your lower back on the floor. Shoulders released, watch them. Crossing the other way around. Engaging your core as you feel it. Last one, you do like this. And then stay in that wide leg position, release your back again. And so you can hold that, get to that inner thigh region. And if you like, you can make a little circle. Other way around. And then bring them back. And bring your knees to your chest. And see if you can circle them and relax totally. Together, individually. You may want to move one knee away and closer to figure eights. Get really to that lower and upper sacrum and the right and the left side. Massaging it. And then we're going to do a bridge Pilates one, but I've changed the breath because I found the breath didn't work the way it was. You also know this quite well, so just the breath. So as you breathe in, make sure your feet are parallel and comfortably closed. You roll up as high as you can, drop your chin, release the shoulders. As you breathe out, flex your left foot and press it away from your right. As you breathe in, you lower until the knees are parallel, not lower. Then lift, and as you breathe out, slowly come back down. All the time you're breathing out. Find the right position for your feet. Lift as high as you can. Keep the back of your head centered, shoulders down. Yeah, as you breathe out, reach into your right foot. Lower until the knees are parallel, we place and lift because it drops. And then slowly roll your spine mindfully back onto the floor and stay centered. Breathing in, roll up. Press into the big toe. Breathing out, extend. Breathing in, lower, replace and lift. And then come back down. Roll up as you breathe in. Reach for the ceiling. Then extend, bend and lift. Keeping your knees parallel. And slowly roll back down. Last time that I talk, breathe in, come up. Release your shoulders, drop your chin slightly. And reach for your heel. Extend before you bend, replace and lift. And slowly roll back down. A few more rounds, just a breath. In, out. In, out. Whole body awareness flows the breath. Two more sequences, mindfully integrating the breath and the movement. Whole body awareness, feel the spine. The big toe down. Extend. For a moment, just hug your knees and release. Then you're going to do one more bridge and you're going to hold it. So place your feet on the floor and see if you can lift a little bit and then wriggle your one arm and then the other. So you wriggle onto your shoulder. See if you can wriggle a bit more. So you're on your upper arms, keep the big toe down, and if you can, interlace your hands and bring them to the floor, or bring your hands to the floor if they're slightly up, then they're slightly up. Imagine there's a phone between your knees. Keep the back of the center of your head firmly down, and then direct your hip up, far up, but try not to widen your knees. So the amount of the big toe down, you can extend quite a bit, and I'm resisting with my upper arms, and pressing my sort of hands into the floor. Keep your feet centered, lift another inch. Your buttocks will tighten if they come higher. Try not to drop your chin too much, feel that you press the back of your skull down. Another 5 breaths, lengthen and lift. Open your chest. Breathe, center your feet. And mindfully separate your hands and roll your spine back onto the floor. You need to lift and release your shoulders and come up. Reach with your hands up just above your chest and then turn the back of your hands toward each other for this quite good wrist stretch where you curl your fingers and then take your fingers, your knuckles down and down, keeping the wrists together. So it gives you a nice wrist stretch. 3 more breaths, release your shoulders. And let go. I'm going to come up. So roll up for the infraspinatus one. I think I'm going to sit like this. Which is behind your rotator cuff. And they say for athletes they should always do that one to warm up. Which of course we don't always every week, but you can do it at home if you've got a shoulder problem particularly. You bring your right knee up, bring your left hand to the outside of your right foot, your right hand behind you, so you already begin to twist right shoulder further back, your left shoulder forward. Now you need to resist both ways. So you press your foot into your hands and at the same time you pull back with your left arm and shoulder and rotate a bit more. And maybe keep sliding that foot further forward, but keep pushing and pulling until you really get a stretch in that sort of infraspinatus area which is behind. You should rotate the cuff back on the left. Sometimes rounding a little bit more. You can explore it until you really feel that stretch. It's quite a nice feeling for many people. Keep it going, breathe. If you need to rotate a bit more, take some time to open and stretch. Breathe into it. Make it 5 more breaths. And I suggest if you have a shoulder problem that you also, when you finish exercise, do that again. Okay, the left hand behind you. Rotate. Keep your right leg released as you really pull and push at the same time, and maybe rotate a bit more. And if you need to round. Usually the one side is more pronounced than the other. So you want to discover where you're most effective in the stretch. So move until you feel that area, so that it begins to open. Keep it going. Three more breaths. And then for a moment just release into a forward bend. And if you feel it here, stop. If you need to bend your knees, bend them. If you're quite comfortable, release deeper into it. Perhaps rotating the thighs slightly in, sitting bones back, head release, chest forward. And use your exhalation to ease into that. Finally release your head. Five more breaths. There's one more before we stand up, and that is the cat, but I want to get a bit into the wrist. So we're going to do the cat with your hands like that, your knees the same distance apart, spread the fingers. And you're going to do the arter turn. You can 180 degrees. Spreading the fingers, not hanging into your shoulders. See if you can find that neutral cat to start with, without bringing your shoulders to your ears. You do the opposite, you take your shoulders back. Release your feet. Now as you breathe in, so you can become a hollow cat. Feel the whole spine hollowing, chest up, tailbone back. Try not to collapse. And then slowly as you breathe out, do it from the tailbone, tucking it in if you need to, and feel that you're rounding your sacrum, then your waist, and then your chest, and then drop your chin and slightly press into your hands. Like a harmonica, you can open the spine, give space to those discs so they can drink fluids. And really explore your whole spine, so you can get to know it. The different facets, the neck, the thoracic region, the waist, and then of course the sacrum. Slightly bring your abdominals in as you breathe out, releasing it as you breathe in. Feel the spine as a unit. I often call it this string of pearls which move together. Perhaps increasing the undulating movement over time. Do it 3 more times. Not leaving out any segment. Rolling your spine. Feeling its flexibility. you've completed that. Just release for a moment into Eastern Praying Child pose. Release your wrists. Nice, comfortable yoga breath. Maybe your knees apart. Another full breath. Relax totally. And it's probably your wrists that need to release. I'm going to stand up now and warm up the simple forward bend, back bend, shoulder one, which you've done before. So you're going to start in Tadasana. Feel the 4 points of your feet, which is the mount of the big toe, little toe, inner arch heel. Feel that your arches are lifted and your toes long, so not crunched. The outside of your feet more or less parallel. Just keep your knees, your ankles, and your hips directly over your ankles, your shoulders down, the natural curve in your spine, your fingers slightly spread. As you breathe in, bring your palms together, reach up, follow your hands. Relax the shoulders, straighten the elbow. If possible, your arms are next to your ears. As you breathe out, bring your right hand to the back of your left elbow and pull it back, possibly towards the back of your head. Breathing in, interlace your hands behind your back. Zip up the tummy, navel up, chest up, head up and back, and lift your arms. Keep your feet centered. And as you breathe out, guide your chin. If you need to bend your knee, do so. If you can, keep them straight. And release as far as you can, releasing your head, lifting the arms out of your shoulders. Breathing in, your palms together, then you cross your thumbs. Reach up, pause for a second. Then bring your left hand behind your right elbow with your palm facing in and pull it towards the back of your head without pushing your hips forward. Breathing in, bring your hands behind you, navel up, chest up, collarbone up, head back. Lift your arms, slowly guide with your chin and roll into a forward bend. Bend your knees if you need to. Keep going like that. Breathing in. Extend. Drop your shoulders, straighten your elbows, look up. Breathing out, your right hand behind your left elbow, palm facing in towards the back of your upper back. Breathing in, interlace your hands. Zip up your abdominals as you bring your chest up, not back, and then bring your head back and your arms up. Pause. Slowly roll into a forward bend, perhaps a bit deeper this time. Release your head. Breathing in, come up. This time, bring your left hand behind your right elbow. Pull it in and back without pushing the chest out. Your arms behind you. Tummy in, chest up, head up and back. Hold, lift your arms as high as you can. As you breathe out, roll into a forward bend. Keep your shoulders back. Keep going your own breathing tempo. Right hand behind your left elbow. Moving with the breath, whole body awareness. Always integrating the movement of your breath, not the other way around. I'm going to do 2 more sequences. Your toes long, feet centered. Follow your hands, drop your shoulders. Last sequence. extend. Now stay in that forward bend with your shoulders back, release your hip. Lift your thigh if you can, if you need to bend your knee. And use your exhalation to move deeper into that stretch. Some of you will be able to take your hands forward and down towards the wall behind you or towards your head. 5 breaths. If you're uncomfortable, bring your hands down already. Drop your hands on the small of your back. Release for a few more breaths as your head dropped, shoulders back. And come up with a rounded back. Brace your tummy muscles as you come up. And see if you can do a nice strong inverted stretch. Reaching up, reaching down, keep your toes long. Extend without locking. We're going to do centering. Always want to do something where you strengthen your ankles and balance. So as you breathe in, so you can bring your arms up and look straight ahead of you. Keep your shoulders down. If you can, bring your arms right against your ear. And then look straight ahead of you, but come right onto your toes. So not onto the ball of your foot, but right onto your toes. And perhaps find a spot that you can fix your gaze on, because you might be a little bit wobbly. Slightly. Keep your tummy in. You can bring your arms against your head. Balance. Slowly come down. Now we're going to look to the point where the wall and the ceiling meet. We're going to do the same. So see if you can fix your eyes. Bring your arms up, cross your thumbs, relax your shoulders, and then see if you can look there and come onto your toes. It's always a little more difficult to look up. So get used to being quite wobbly, because the big toe starts to protest. Slowly come back down. And the last one, which is up at the ceiling. So try it again. Extend. Get used to being wobbly perhaps. Straighten the elbows. Try and keep that big toe down. And slowly come back down. It's quite hard work. We'll do one where we stay up and then move our eyes from the one to the other. So maybe look straight ahead. Straighten your arms. Then look to the point between your ceiling and the wall. Staying up so you can look a bit higher. And you notice how your big toe starts playing up. And slowly come down. So this is from Yin Yoga, from Sarah Powers. And it's a chair, but she also has a back bend chair. Nobody else that I know has that. So as you breathe in, you bring your feet quite close together, your knees together, and it's like you have an apparition, and you have a big spider on the wall. At least your armpits go down, your chest opens, you look up, keep your knees together or slightly bent, heels down. As you breathe out, you come into what you call strong pose of chair. Breathing in, spread your finger. It's like you're pushing space away, armpits down, keep your knees together. Tummy in. As you breathe out, thighs to your heels, heels down. Lift your chest and your arms, but drop your chin. Really push away, spread the fingers. Armpits are down, pause. And see if you can get closer to that invisible chair. A few more times, opening your chest, tummy in. Look up. And see if you can move into a counter stretch. 3 more times. Keep your knees bent on the first one, although it's less. Deeper as you breathe out. Activate those latissimus dorsi side muscles. Sitting bones to your heels. Elbows up. Last one. Nice deep breath, whole body awareness. Feet are open. And then separate your feet a bit and just release into a forward bend of your choice. Many of you might just prefer to fold your arms if you're quite happy. Take your hands underneath your feet or place them on the floor. Release your head, pull your shoulders back, and if you can, lift the thighs for another 5 breaths. Slowly with your exhalation, easing into that. Allow your head to hang. Once again, into an inverted stretch. Always pressing into your feet, reaching up without locking, so that everything lengthens and the energy and space can move more freely. Now the next one is a monkey king, and then at the end you do a twist. So your right foot forward, and you could keep your knee off the floor and do it like that, but I think it's going to be a little bit easier to do it like that. So your knee over your ankle, you lock your hip, you bring your hands, your palm facing in to the back with your palms facing in, and as you breathe in, zip up the tummy, lock your hip, bring your elbows back, look up. In fact, your foot can be flat. And as you breathe out, bring your toes up, your hands forward and your head towards the inside of your leg, if you need to stay higher. Breathing in, tummy in, lock the hip, bring your elbows back, tummy in, and see if you can really open the chest, collarbone up. Center your foot, and as you breathe out, release into this forward bend, toes up, and see if you can straighten your knee. Do it a few more times. Perhaps going a bit further, chest up further, elbows closer together, tummy in. Look at the ceiling, and then slowly, rounding your back. Come into a forward bend and begin to feel the hamstring right into your butt. Twice more dynamically like that. Stay a few more breaths into that monkey king before we do the twist. Bring your toes up, release your head. 3 more breaths. Another twist where you keep your knee over your ankle, curl your toes. And for some of you it will be easier to keep the knee over your ankle and your back knee on the floor. Bring your hands together, bring your elbow just beyond and above your right knee, and see if you can bring your right elbow over your left. Rotate right shoulder over the left before you come up, and rotate a bit further, lifting out of the shoulder. You don't want to collapse, so see if you can lift out of the shoulder, breathe, straighten the back knee, rotate inner thighs closer. Another 3 or so breaths. It helps to fix your gaze. And then slowly come down. So you really feel it there. And to do the other way around. Find the right position so that when you lunge, your hip is more or less locked. So as you breathe in, try and bring the elbows toward each other, release your hip, chest up. And as you breathe out, take your hands forward, bring the top of your foot up and your head to the inside of your leg, unless it will be above it. Breathing in, press into the front foot, keep the knee more or less over the ankle, draw the elbows back, tummy in, head further back. Nice back bend. And then as you breathe out, round your back into a counter stretch, getting to the hamstring on the left. Explore. Try and have that whole body awareness, moving with the breath. Twice more on this side. Strong in that front foot, locking forward and down, bring your chest up, head back, elbows to each other. Last one. Inhalation, back bend. Exhalation, monkey king. And this time see if you can move deeper into it. Bring your head to the inside if you can. Keep your knee bent if you need to. Toes up, head released. Another 3 breaths if you can, straighten your left. Then we're going to do the twist. So keep your back knee on the floor, but curl your toes if you can lift. Find the right position. Palms together, bring your right elbow beyond and just above your left knee. I have my fingers facing forward, palms together, and rotate a bit more before you come up, because usually the one leg is not as strong, it might be more wobbly. Bring the inner thighs closer, fix your gaze straight in the back knee, shoulders back, and see if you can hold it for 3 more breaths. Broaden your back, rotate the upper trunk, reach into your crown. Slowly bring your knee down, feeling it in the left back of this piriformis, and then relax totally. Allow your shoulders, your back, your wrists to release totally. And take a few recovery breaths. Another 3. And then we're going to do what's called the dancing warrior. I think you all know it, and we'll talk you through it a few times. And for once you can really make the flowing dance with warrior qualities. So come into an Eastern praying position. And from there, come into the dog which you have done. And really make it a strong dog. So armpits and hips toward each other, heels to the floor. Look towards your thigh if you can, bring your chin closer. Rotate the upper arms out and press your inner hand down. Head to the floor. Now you need to have space with your right leg to swing up. Make it a large step. Press into your feet. Bring your heels toward each other. That's very important. Keep bringing the heels toward each other as you come into the warrior with your arms up and then into the wide-armed warrior. Then into the reverse. Keep those heels moving in with the back knee straight. You go on the outer edge of the back foot. Then bring your right hand directly underneath your right shoulder and swing your left arm up. Extend that left side. Bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder and step back into a straight line or a plank. From there, push your palms back, but bring your collarbones up, tummy in. Either your knees on or off the floor and come into a dog with your head up. There, come into a dog with your head down. Swing your left leg up. Come into the up-down warrior. If you like, look up. Keep the heels pulling in toward each other, but extend into your fingertips. Reverse warrior, back knee straight. And bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder and swing your right arm up. Now it's first plank, I might have forgotten it, the previous one. Just go back into plank. From there into a dog with your head up. And then into a dog with your head down. You could also do chaturanga instead of plank. Right leg up, swing it up. Either bring your arms parallel, bring your heels in and look forward, or you can bring them up and look up. Extend, pull the heels in, drop your shoulders. Reverse warrior, keep those heels really strong. Right hand underneath your right shoulder, swing the left arm up, extend the left side, fingers slightly spread, and bring your left hand underneath your shoulder and reach from the waist in both directions. Slowly pushing back with your palms, up with your collarbone. Look up, flatten your feet, reach in both directions, tummy in, back into a dog with your head down. Acute angle, chest towards your knee, thighs back, heels down, head to the floor. As you swing your left leg up and come into the up-down warrior, whichever one you like. Pull the heels in, drop the shoulders, straighten the elbows. Command your space, back arm as high as the front. Reverse warrior, the back knee straight, without pulling your knee back. Left hand underneath your left shoulder, extend the right side, and come into plank. Extend, dog push your head up. Collarbones beyond your wrist, try not to have your hands underneath your shoulder. Into a dog push your head down. Right leg up, let's forget which. But I'm going to stop talking and see if you can do it without me talking. So you can do it with your own breathing rhythm. Always keep those heels active. Moving with the breath. It really becomes a dance of warriors and dogs. Heels in toward each other, shoulders down. Left shoulder in, right shoulder up. Extend into the crown and into your heels. Feel your spine. Moving with the breath. You might find that the breath slows down as you get into it. Make it the last sequence of right and left, the next one you do. It's easier on your shoulders when your arms are parallel. Straighten the back knee. Tummy in, you do the dog with your head up. And this time when you're finished, for a moment release either in a hero position, like that, or if you prefer, child pose or eastern brain position. And release your shoulders, allow your breath to settle. Pressure of your neck, your shoulders. A few more breaths, relax totally. we're going to do headstand variations, and there's always the simple ones. Some of you can go straight into your headstand. The simple one is always the hair. You come onto your crown, not your forehead. You take your index finger, your thumb around your wrist, and release your shoulder and your feet, and focus on your crown. You should feel the pressure there. So if you close your eyes, perhaps focus on the crown, the pressure on that center of your skull. My yoga teacher Parvati always says it's good to feel that pressure. Anyway, and then it's the dolphin. Either your hands like that. It's like a dog on forearms as you breathe in. Bring your face directly over your hands as you breathe out. Push your chest towards your knee. And keep going, so your head is hanging there. And you begin to feel the forearms. Now it strengthens the upper trunk. That's all you're trying to do by preparing for headstands. You come into that, and those of you who can do the bird, remember that it is a triangle. A lot of people put their hands almost next to the head. It needs to actually be a little bit away. It's supposed to be a triangle between your head and between your elbows. So roll on top there. If you can, like I can, you can keep your toes on the floor, roll onto the crown and then lift and stay there. Some people can't have their knees and their toes sort of on the elbow and the floor. So do it your way and then release. And then of course the regular headstand. I'm going to show you the one with the chair, because I've often told you that you used to do it when I started yoga, and I didn't have the one that we have now. So I'm going to just bring in 2 chairs and 2 pillows. You need to have 2 the same chairs. In fact, these are not the best ones. I have the old ones that I used to use in the yoga class. They were better, but these are just handy and close. 2 the same pillows, but your shoulder can go on here, because it's quite a horrible edge there. And it needs to be wide enough for your head to go in, but not too wide, because your shoulders need to rest on there. And your hand needs to go there exactly like that. Take your head there, make sure you've got no earrings or anything in there. Mine could actually come a bit closer. And then see if you can kick up, tummy in. And then see if you can maybe take your feet there against the wall. Release your head. I always find it easier with my head against the wall, because I can now release my neck. And it's quite nice when you press on the shoulders and you can release your head. But a lot of people like doing it like that, which is more of a balance. So this is a way for some of you who are quite attached to my sort of headstand chair to do it at home. Another headstand variation which you can do if you have a wall. I put my heels on the skirting board and then put the one foot and then the other and make a right angle. Release your head. Quite a lot of pressure in your arms. You could lift the one leg if you want to. It's not more difficult. But it's a lot of pressure in your arms. So it's a good one to strengthen the arm. And of course the other one which is very good for your hamstrings. Slowly dropping deeper into it so you get to the stretch. If you can, arms up, release your chin, and pull the knees back. Take a few breaths, and if you can, go deeper so it presses into your spine, and I can feel how my calves have become quite tight. Of course, there is the headstand. Get into it myself. Rolling up. Oops. And make sure that your lengthens. Maybe focus on a point, press into your elbows, and find that set. Those of you who can do it find it quite easy. And then the last one I'm going to show you, or remind you of, is the crow. For people who don't like putting their head on the floor, it's quite a few of you. Of course, that one against the wall now does do work for that. And then it's the bringing the elbows quite low. I come right onto my toes, spread the fingers. Some people need to do it outside, I do it like that. Most people do. But it's different for different people. See if you can come onto your toes. You could stay there, or you could try and lift and balance. And it feels like you're flying a bit. And every time you do it, it's slightly different. So you've got to practice that. And I'm going to leave it at that and allow you to finish your various practices for the next minute or so. So always when you've done those inversions, come into a child pose afterwards so you can release. The blood flow has gone to your head. It's important just to come back to center and release and relax. So stay there for a few breaths. Release your neck, drop your shoulders. Perhaps breathe into your back now that you're in that position where you can feel the back more. You can take the breath into it. But mainly relax. Feel the energy flow in the whole of your body as you quieten down. For another 6 breaths. And come into an upright sitting position. You're going to now do a classical twist. So sit with your with your right knee lifted and your left foot comes next to your right hip. So some people take it further like this. I tend to take it there. But more important is that you keep that sitting bone down. Don't sort of sit skew. Now there are many different ways of doing it. It's always bringing your shoulders and your hips at right angles to each other, like the pharaohs and the Egyptian sort of queens, or whatever you call them, that Cleopatra was called. So you could do it like this. The danger that's for some people when they bring it here, their shoulder comes up, and it's more important to have your shoulder down. So then I would do my hand here and the right hand back, and then rotate. If you can do it like this and keep your right sitting bone down, you do what we call the stop sign. You straighten up, always twist from the base of your spine, which means your right abdominal wall goes to the right first, then your navel, then your lower rib, then your middle rib, then your collarbone, and then your shoulder is last, and you look behind you. If you're quite comfortable and you don't lift that left shoulder, don't do it like that, then you can sort of thread the needle like that. Keep your right sitting bone grounded, twist from the base up, extend into the crown, keep your armpits, shoulder blades down, and that front foot centered, it always wants to lift. Feel that rotation. As you breathe in, you extend into the crown, keeping your shoulders down. As you breathe out, you can widen, but I wouldn't force it. Stay where you feel it. Feel the spine. Feel the breath. Freeing all those nerves that go to all those different organs as they radiate out from the spine, creating more space. Breathe into the belly, another 4 breaths. You may find that you can rotate further as you breathe out. Come back. try it the other way around. So your right foot next to your left hip. Stay on that hip, try not to lift it. And bring your right foot wherever you feel you want to. Either your arm on the inside, you can do a beautiful Cleopatra twist that way. If you want to do it this way and you don't bring your shoulder up, do it this way. Rotate. And if you want to do the linking the fingers without hunching, then slowly from the base of the spine bring your abdominals out, your navel and your ribs. Extend into the crown, lift out of the shoulders, keep your armpit shoulder blades down, and breathe. Keep the length as you breathe in. Feel the width of your back as you breathe out. Keep the front foot centered. 5 more breaths. Whole body awareness. Release. And as always after a twist, release it into a forward bend. So sit as flat as you can. Either keep your knees bent and release. If you like, straighten the legs, sitting bones back. Bring your elbows to the floor, try not around your back. Keep lengthening the sacrum by taking your sitting bones back, the back of your legs down, and then release your head. And if you're close to the floor, you could sometimes put something in between, to your legs, or you can come onto your forehead and stay there another full breath. Shoulders back. We're going to do an upside down plank to get some strength in your arms. You can't do weights. I was thinking about finding a way that you can do weights next week. And putting sand in bags or something. Take your hands behind you, toes to the floor, lift, look up. Straight line or a plank. And as you breathe out, perhaps bend your knees slightly and release forward and down. I know some of you might prefer doing the Tibetan table. Do that way, sliding back, coming to forward bend. But if you can do the upside down plank, do that one. Head back, shoulders away from your ears, toes to the floor. And perhaps bend your knees slightly so you can really enjoy the forward flop. Nice deep breath in, tummy in, and release. Allow the momentum to take you deeper into it. Moving with your breathing tempo. Opening your chest. You should come up. Make it another 4 times. And now when you come to the 4th, you're going to stay in this forward bend once again and do a bit more. Release. Sitting bones back. Slowly release without forcing. Chest forward, sitting bones back, and release your head. And if you're halfway, then do that. And if you prefer to keep your knees bent, and do it that way. It gives you more of a back stretch. Another 4 breaths. Move to gate post. You're going to gate posture, sorry, not gate post. And we're going to just do it on a mat, not using the wall for a change. So come onto your left knee, keep it directly underneath you, don't bring it out, so your thigh is perpendicular to the floor. Bring your right foot out more or less in line with your knee. Palm facing up, so try not to rotate. So you keep your hips and your shoulders facing forward. Palm facing up, toe to the floor. As you breathe in, bring your left elbow to your left rib cage, as close as you want to be. And as you breathe out, extend the arm across your ear. Try not to do it here, if you can. Reach into your fingers. Breathing in, come back to upright, left elbow to your left ribs. Breathing out, release. Reach into your fingers. Quite a strong stretch in the left. Nice deep breath. Spread the fingers, allow the energy to move into the fingertips. Three more times dynamically. Perhaps go a bit further without twisting. And then stay there. Get that left hip and left shoulder slightly back. Extend, armpits down. And extend into the fingers with your shoulders down, try not to hunch. Sliding your lower hand further down without twisting. Some of you will be able to go further, but stop where you feel it. And come up, and do it the other way around. So your right thighs perpendicular to the floor, your left foot out. Okay, so the hand slides down, make sure the foot is not in, it's pointing out, align with your knee, and this is the right angle. Breathing in, bring your elbow in, breathing out, extend. Reach into your fingers, slide your left leg. Hand down rather. Breathe in, come up. Breathing out. As if you're sliding against a wall. Reach for the left. Nice deep breath. Three more times dynamically. Perhaps slowly moving deeper into the stretch, getting to that inner thigh, as well as the ribs and the shoulder on the right. The next one is the last dynamic one. And then see if you can ease into that. Reach into your fingers. Slowly open out. Cross your arm, try not to twist. Keep that right elbow straight. Extend into the fingers, slide your left hand down. Three more breaths. Just relax for a moment. After that, back into symmetry. Now your back, your ribs to release. Whole body awareness. Always make sure you learn to relax in between. So you let go of any unnecessary holding. And then it's a bit of a back bend. It's the unsupported cobra. It always gets to the core, the middle and lower back, particularly around your spine. So come onto your forehead. Either bring your hands in the prayer position between your shoulder blades. If not, take your hands to the opposite elbow. If you can, bring your heels together. If not, keep your feet apart, particularly if your lower back is a bit sort of sensitive. You press the front of your feet down if you can and extend into the crown. So you don't just come up. You lengthen into the crown, keeping that alignment of your neck and your trunk, and then come down. So for most of us, it's not very high. Zip up the tummy. Press your front of your feet down if you can. Keep your shoulders back. And as you breathe out, come up. It doesn't look like much, but you're really using a lot of core, lower back and middle back muscles along your spine. Press your front of your feet down, extend as you breathe in, and slowly come down as you breathe out. Keep going. Press those front of your feet down, heels together if possible, shoulders back. Another 5 times. And then bring your hands next to your ribs. Push yourself up and release into a counter stretch. Maybe your knees apart, adjust your hands and come into an Eastern plank position. Or maybe your knees a bit apart. Frog and relax. Allow your chest and your midriff to settle again. And then what I call the puppy stretch. You keep your knees and your hips one above the other, feet flat. And try and take your chest to the floor. Come onto your forehead. Release your feet. And feel that stretch between your shoulder blades, your middle ribs, your chest. Dropping your chest down, sitting bones up. And some of you might prefer to be on your chin, like that or like that. It's a slightly different stretch. All seen your pets do that in the morning, first thing when they wake up. Three more breaths. And slide back. Once again, release your wrists, your shoulders and your back and separate your knees. Allow everything to drop for a moment or two. Releasing any unnecessary tension in your body. And then, as always, I'm going to do a bit of a strange one. A hip one. You're going to sit like that, with your foot close to you. So maybe a lot of you with knee problems can do it as well. And then press your hands on the top thigh, just above your knee, and you imagine that you're carrying a tray. Don't put too much on it. And then bring it forward, and bring it back. So your knee and your ankle more or less at the same level, and that's what you will feel in your hip. In fact, some of your hips might lock, and be careful. Just swing it around like that. Easy when you come a bit more forward. As you take it back. You can stay up. I find it's easy when I come a bit forward. And try that a few more times. Hoping you've got the space. Make it your last one. And then this time when you come forward, keep your right leg bent like this. Place your hands around your foot or your ankle. And then see if you can come up. Now straighten your back. Try and bring your ribs to your thigh, the heron, and bring your elbows up. Pull your shin towards your forehead and your forehead to your shin. Bend your elbows and begin to straighten the leg. Reach into your heel, keep your shoulders back, tummy in, and lift. And hold it for a few more breaths. Getting to the heel, you should activate your hamstring. Open your chest, elbows back, foot up, 3 more breaths. And release. We'll do the same little sequence the other way around. Bending your knee, putting your one hand on top of the other. So you can put some pressure on that lower leg And then see if you can lift. The idea is that you carry a tray, teacups that you wouldn't start with, just have to practice, and then swing forward. And try and have your knee and your ankle more or less the same level. And I feel it more in the hips. So if your hip locked, then maybe don't. Keeping that knee level with your ankle. Three more times. Be the last one. And then once again, see if you can bring your hands around your right foot. Straighten up, tummy slightly in. Press your foot into your hand, and if you feel it here, you stop here. But if you can straighten it, try and bring your rib towards your thigh and push that foot up, bend your elbow. It might be stiff with the one leg, and draw your leg up, reach into your heel, keep your shoulders back, tummy in. See if you can keep that going. So your forehead moves to your shin and your shin to your forehead. Straighten that leg, talk to it. Breathe. Another 3 breaths. And then release into forward bend, or if you prefer, make it butterfly. You can choose between the two. Always sit as flat as you can. Pressing your sitting bones back. And slowly release, rotating the thighs slightly in. You could also take your arms back if you prefer that. The variation. Or you can take them to the floor, your forearms, and take hold of your opposite hands. And slowly release. Pressing the back of your leg down. Armpits down, release your head. Sitting bones move actively back and down. The back of your thigh press down. Feel the breath and use your exhalation to slowly release deeper into it. Another 6-7 breaths. Press your calves down if you can. Always quietly, before a bend, quietens the mind. Now you may want to sit on your phone. We're going to do 1 breath before you go into a well-deserved relaxation. And it's a bit of a kriya, which means cleansing breath. So if you prefer sitting on your knees, sit on your knees. And if you need anything for relaxation, put it ready now, so you can go straight into it when you finish this breath. So as you breathe in, go, and then you go. Loose fist. breath in through your nose, contract the perineum for a moment, not hard, but slightly, and focus on the point between your eyebrows as you hold. Feeling the build-up of energy. Breathe out to release, and then make yourself comfortable for total relaxation. So make sure you're comfortable. Put something underneath your knees if you need to, underneath your head, and really allow your body to drop into gravity and feel that. You should take a few more natural yoga breaths. As you breathe out, feel the imprint your body makes, and then drop deeper into it. Do that for a few breaths, so you shift to pure beingness. You're no longer doing, but you're releasing. As you breathe out, imagine that you're falling into gravity without resisting it. Have a sensation of falling down. Allow your breast to set. Feel that your calves have become heavy. Your hips and your sacrum and the back of your thighs are released. Your whole rib cage and your shoulder blades and your head, skull and your arms, your feet all have dropped into gravity. And create that inner silent space within you. Moving beyond, transitioning the busy mind, beyond the chattering mind, to an open, radiant inner space. Witnessing yourself moment to moment, see if you can literally arrive in the moment. Sense it, allowing your breast to settle, your body to release. Feeling the space within and around you. The infinite intelligence that informs your body. It's within and around you, your electromagnetic field. To rest in that wider sense of self. If your mind wanders, come back to that sense of wholeness within the silence, the witnessing of yourself. Resting in a sense of wholeness, compassion, gratitude. Perhaps settling your features, you may want to yawn and swallow. Your throat is soft. Eyes passive. The expression neutral. Draw your inner focus and gaze into your open heart space. You allow your mind to flow as the music and harmony. So begin to feel the floor underneath you once again. Move your fingers and your toes. Open your eyes. Feel your clothes against your skin and feel the floor against your back. Perhaps roll onto your side. Stretch before you come up into an upright position. Hopefully feeling a bit renewed. Thank you very much. I hope you can practice a bit more and perhaps give us some feedback about how you're doing. Thank you. Namaste.